Hello, everyone. It is Misha Green, DC editor. I am so excited to be with you all today as we are highlighting and uplifting, as always, Black entrepreneurs. But this week we get to talk to Serita Braxton of Monita Tequila. My dogs are going crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. You know how this goes working from home. But yeah, we're gonna talk all things Monita Tequila, her journey, her being a hometown girl, and all that jazz. So first of all, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Monita, how are you doing?
Wow. Well, I have really put myself in my little cocoon. So I am originally from Maryland, but I'm currently based in Tenerife, which is an island in the Canaries. So, I mean, I have the birds outside chirping, the sun. So it's been really nice for me. I'm very grateful to have had this kind of escape from the hecticness of living in, let's say, DC or a big city.
Absolutely. I think that is so incredibly amazing to sort of just be away and be inspired by nature and the things around you. And particularly just sort of in the past 19 months of struggle, true struggle. And, just seeing things and witnessing things and being in DC and being sort of a part of it in many ways has been a whole lot. So you're not missing anything, girl.
But I'm still watching always.
How can you not, right? How can you not?
Yeah.
So tell us about sort of your journey. You're from the area, and we have a lot of hometown entrepreneurs here, but what inspired you into entrepreneurship?
Wow, it's something that I definitely hadn't always seen for myself. And I think now, like you mentioned, the possibilities are growing and we're getting out of this maybe traditional view of success and building it on our own, which I think is really inspiring. And I'm also inspired by the entrepreneurs that I know from the area. So the story behind me starting Monita Tequila comes from the name. So my mom and I, also Maryland native, we were, people said we look like sisters. Like we were so close, always doing everything together. My mom had this little cute habit of just ordering whatever I ordered when I went out. So my mom was never a big drinker. However, I convinced her to try a margarita one night and it was uphill from there. It became our tradition to go out, have margaritas together. I love Mexican food and the culture that surrounds that. So that became a tradition of ours, as well as with friends as well. And so my mom passed away going on 5 years now. And for the entire time, I've been trying to think about how I could honor her, keep her name alive, because she was just such a special part of the community. She somehow found a way to make everyone feel special. I don't know how she had the time to work full time, be my therapist, and also support everyone else in her community and her work community as well, her work family, actually. And I don't know, it really just clicked one night having a conversation with friends, because everyone knows me as the margarita girl. Like, if you need a good margarita, you know where to go. And I looked into if it's possible to create your own brand of tequila, because I had never known anyone who did it. And I thought, okay, it sounds nice, but it's probably not possible. And after doing some research, I found a distillery in Tequila, Mexico, who does private labels. So I reached out to them. I've been working with them for the past year. I actually went to Mexico and actually had my say in how the tequila will taste, what will go into it. And yeah, so now it feels like, very sudden, but it's happening. And I'm so excited for people to try it.
I am so inspired by your story. When you reached out to us, I knew I had to talk to you because my mom and I have a very similar relationship. We are very much into Mexican food and culture, and actually learned later in life that my well, she knew a little bit, but further that my great great grandmother actually was Mexican. And so, just really digging deep into that. Anyway, and we were also big tequila people as well, and margarita people in particular. And she recently got sick. She, thank God, is doing very, very well. But that's the one thing right now that she is like, she doesn't want to risk it and do, because, she had a brain injury. And so I cannot wait to share her story with you. Share your story with her, excuse me, just because I'm so incredibly inspired. So tell us about the name itself, Monita Tequila.
Yes. So my mom's name is Monita. And when I thought about creating my own brand, I was like, what would it be named? When I started, it wasn't necessarily connecting for it to be in honor of my mom. That wasn't the first thought. I just thought, is it possible? And then I thought, what would the name be? And I wrote some things down, and it just said, I just wrote Monita. And I'm like, wait, Monita Tequila is like, it couldn't have gone better together. And so I mean, every part of this brand is really ingrained in who she was. Her favorite color was purple. And I know in the tequila industry, purple is not a traditional color, but I want purple incorporated it's in the label. It's going to be a strong color throughout the process. And I know that she would just be so excited. She would want to drink it, like I wish she was here to share in the moment, but like sharing her story and also her inspiration through this brand is also equally important, I think. So I'm really proud of that.
And we are so incredibly proud of you and keeping her legacy alive through the bravery of entrepreneurship and diving into a field that many people are afraid to charter. So tell us what that's like being an African American woman in the beverage industry, and particularly in tequila.
Well, it is absolutely uncharted territory for me as well. And I will say, I think anything entrepreneurial is a lot of trial and error. Sometimes it feels like more error than anything else. I try to do the process from afar, and I found, and I think it's really important to be super hands-on with whatever it is that you're doing, which is why I traveled to tequila, because trying to send samples back and forth from Mexico to the US wasn't working. So just being there, also learning about the process, because on top of wanting to pay homage to my mother, it's really important for me also to respect the culture that tequila comes from, and seeing the people there working, bottling by hand, putting labels on bottles. It's ingrained in their history, in their lifestyle. This is like how people feed their families. So it was also really important for me to go there and not just kind of phone it in and say, okay, you handle that and I'm going to put my mom's name on it, right? Like, so it's super important for me to really be involved in every part of the process. I've also learned that you need help in areas that you are not an expert in. A lot of times, especially me, I'm a DIY person. I want to do everything myself, but sometimes you just have to acknowledge that you need support in certain areas, which has really helped me, having help with social media, with marketing, the financial aspect. You shouldn't take the entire operation on your shoulders. And even though you wanted to succeed, like having people that you trust to help you is really important. And I also really want the community to be involved. So also as an entrepreneur, community support, awareness is really important, which is why I'm doing the fundraising campaign with I Fund Women. So I've tried other platforms before, but I'm really inspired by the mission of I Fund Women. They are trying to bridge the funding gap for female entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs of color. They get a very small percentage of venture capital, but they're starting a large percentage of businesses, which is, so they're there to help support. So I'm excited to launch that next month.
And so, yeah, tell us a little bit more about that and how we can support as the community.
Yes. And I know I respect it's a challenging time for everyone. Even if it's a share, if it's, you know, sharing it with your community, supporting with however much you can. I'm also offering some really nice perks. I really, really want this to be a community venture. This is not for me about the financial gain. Like for me, this is really about having this brand at the centerpiece of really special moments, which I think tequila is for most of us. That we remember the good times, the good food, the good laughs. So that's what this brand is really about. And I'll be offering some shot glasses with the logo, some t-shirts, some reusable bags, a cooler as well. I'm thinking also, I got to keep my tequila drinkers in mind. Sometimes you got to keep your ice cool. So I have a bag there that is temperature controlled. So your support or anyone's support who decides to donate to the campaign won't go unnoticed. And there'll be some nice perks there for them.
Cool. And can you just tell the people how they get to the campaign? And we will make sure everyone to link it in the comments as we always do, in our article as well, so that you'll have that.
Yes. Actually, you very nicely put up the website, which if anyone wants to check it out, they can also subscribe. And it's not going to be very frequent emails, but we will be updating on the crowdfunding campaign and the status of the support we received. And the link for the iFund Women crowdfunding project is ifundwomen.com/projects and then Monita Tequila. The page is live if anyone wants to go check it out, but it will officially launch on October 1st.
Well, that is right around the corner. It's so crazy. That's what, 8 days away. Oh my goodness.
Like, where did this year go? I don't understand.
So I keep embarrassed. I mean, like, I should know it. It's my job to know what day it is. But I have been saying 2020 still this year because the whole year has complete, or the past 19 months, I should say, has just sort of meshed together. I can't believe we're about to see 2022. It's insane. It is insane. So, speaking of the pandemic and the time that we're in, we've seen people, sort of get in a rut and feel like, well, what do I do next? A lot of people still are out of work. And I know there are a lot of budding entrepreneurs checking this out now or who will be watching this stream later. Any advice for them on how to just jump on in and start their business?
Yes. So I was actually having this conversation this week, and I kind of compared it to a painting, right? A lot of times we see an end point and we want to get there as soon and as efficiently as possible. But when it comes to a painting, you can't do it all in one brushstroke. I mean, if you can, you're very talented. I'm sure there are some people out there who can, but it takes one brushstroke at a time. And there's no time pressure that anyone is putting on you but yourself. So even if it's doing one workshop that might benefit your entrepreneurial goals in the future, or if it's doing one networking event, like every little piece really does add up. And so a lot of times we feel this pressure to reach the next milestone and get our product out there or secure funding. But really, I think being kind to yourself, taking your time, realizing it's a road you haven't navigated before, and just doing it step by step is really important.
The folks out there who are tequila drinkers, I am sure are wondering, well, tell me what kind of tequila it is. What are some of the flavors that I'm going to be getting from this? And of course, you've had a really hands-on experience in this process. So can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect when we try out Monita Tequila?
Yes. So I think the first thing I hear from people sometimes is that they've had a really bad experience with tequila. They consume too much of it, or they had some maybe lower quality tequila and it's kind of been ingrained in their memory. Like, I cannot drink tequila again. I encourage them to try Monita Tequila because I was really surprised to find out when I went to Mexico that for traditionally the Mexican palate, they like their tequila to burn. Like if the tequila does not burn, it's not quality tequila. And maybe when you move further north in the United States, the American palate, so to say, is not as fond of these very strong tastes. They don't necessarily want it to burn when it goes down. So I kept that in mind when I was creating the profile. It's 100% agave. So there's no additives, there's no shortcuts in the process of distilling the tequila. It's going to be distilled from mature agave down in tequila with the distillery that I'm working with. There's also a little bit of agave honey. So it gives it this smooth taste. So when you drink it, you don't have that initial, oh, like I'm consuming tequila. So I think it's going to be perfect for people who like to sip it, who like to drink it, or if they want to add it to a cocktail. And because I've created my own profile, what will happen is they're going to age that naturally into a reposado, and then after a year, an añejo. And then I'm also really excited because, of course, everything goes back to margaritas, to use the Blanco profile in some ready-to-drink cocktails. So I'm going to start with the margarita, and I hope that people are well receiving of all of these different versions of Monita Tequila.
Oh my goodness. I cannot wait. This sounds so exciting. I definitely, when I get my hands on some Monita Tequila, I will go live and let the people know what I feel about it for sure. Maybe we'll have to save that for our Instagram folks, y'all. So make sure you're following us on Afro News on Instagram for that. We'll for sure. We'll make sure to link that later on down the road on this post as well. So tell us again, how can we follow you? You know, we can go to monitatequila.com. We can go to ifunwomen.com/products/Monita Tequila. But tell us how we can follow you on social media and keep in touch with all things Monita Tequila.
Yes. So we have a Instagram page. We have a Facebook page. We also have a Twitter page, all under Monita Tequila. And of course, we have the website where all of our social media profiles are linked, as well as where you can subscribe to get updates. And I did want to say, because a lot of people have asked, when is it going to be available? Because I started this almost a year ago, and it is going to be available in January of next year. And of course, I want to go home to the DC area. So that is my first primary market to bring Monita Tequila.
Woo!
Yes.
Let us know when you have the official launch here. The Afro will definitely be up in the building for that. We'd love to be there. So please let us know. Congratulations on your upcoming launch for sure. January 2022, you all look out for Monita Tequila. So is there anything you'd like to share with the people as we wrap today, either about Monita Tequila or your journey or any final words?
Well, I've had quite a unique one. So I went from DC, I moved to Berlin. Now I'm in Spain in the Canary Islands. I didn't know anyone here, no one in Berlin, in Tenerife. And I really encourage people to travel, right? And I know that this is a tough time to do that. And I'm saying when it's safe, when you feel comfortable. But I think I've grown so much. I don't think if I was the same person, just kind of very comfortable in my day job, that I would have really felt the empowerment to branch out and do something like this. So I feel like you learn so much about yourself, experiencing new cultures, learning about new history. So I really encourage people to do that. You never know what may come up out of that. And for me, it was this brand. So I really appreciate that experience.
Well, we are just so appreciative of you sharing your journey with us. And again, congratulations. I think it's so cool what you're doing, Serita. I really, really do. And hello to all those tuning in. I saw y'all and I saw Jewel, one of our constant supporters. Yes, she's saying congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks to all those tuning in. We really appreciate it. Remember, share this stream. It'll be here as long as Facebook and YouTube exist. And as I like to say, sharing is caring. So share this stream. The village needs to know that they can support a Black woman in her entrepreneurial journey. And we all know we love tequila. Okay. So let's go ahead and support Serita and Monita Tequila in this awesome journey. Congratulations to you again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being with us on AFRO Live. We really appreciate it. And again, to all you all out there, tune in to all the AFRO has. Our paper, our weekly, as we say, legacy edition was released today. Of course, we have www.afro.com, as well as all of us on social media at AFRO News, everywhere on social media at AFRO News. Be safe, everyone. Remember to mask up and wash your hands, and take care.